Hi everyone, welcome to my Nursery. Today I am doing day one of the Mermaid Challenge, and I'm actually doing mermaids from A to Z, and day one is my little artsy mermaid. I always start with a hand-drawn sketch because that's the best way that I know how to work. I've started to do digital sketching, but nothing really beats sketching it by hand for me. I decided to do this cute little girl arty mermaid. I gave her a little shell beret because artists are all about berets, you know, stereotypical artists. And I gave her a little starfish buddy and little pearl accents. I wanted to keep her hair short just because it would have been too much going on with all the colors and the hair. And I wanted to keep her like cute. I am freehanding all of this with my Microsoft Surface Pro. I love this laptop. Oh my gosh, it's so great. Let's see. I take off that little chitch on her little knuckle because I made it too protruding. Let's see, what else can I talk about? I also like the look of freehanding because you get a lot of different line weights. I also use the pen tool when I have to have a nice clean line. I do use Photoshop. It's a gift from my mom every year for my birthday to have a subscription to Photoshop. Thanks, Mom. Love you. Tomorrow is going to be Bookworm for B. B is for Bookworm. I'm really excited about that because she has a cute little pose. I'm doing this over lunch, but I'm not eating, so you might hear my stomach growl because it just did. It's like, you should be eating, you're so hungry. Oh man, I hated this line here. Don't you just hate those long curves? Ugh. After I do all the sketches, I usually just clean it up using either an eraser tool or a mask tool. If you don't know how to do a mask, there's a little button at the bottom of your layers that has a little square with a little hole cut out of it. That's your mask tool. If you put it on a layer and use a black paintbrush, you can erase stuff without erasing, like it'll save your work underneath the mask. And that is a great tool. I decided to give her like reddish brown hair, sort of like an umber. And I really like it. I think it turned out really cute. I didn't want to give her like stereotypical red hair, and I also didn't want her to have like brown hair just because I wanted her to be a little bit artsy. I do like to hand color in because it's soothing. It's more than just, you know, gotta go fast. I like it. I know a lot of other artists use like a paint bucket tool. It doesn't feel like you're actually coloring when it comes to that, but who knows? Maybe in the future I'll adopt the love for the paint bucket tool. I made her a little starfish orange, and I am going to color her skin next. I changed the color of the background just so I could see the skin better. The problem when you use a white background with a light color is that you might miss a spot, and then you have this weird little hole in her face later on, or you go outside the lines, and so you have a little extra skin where there shouldn't be. A little gross visual. Yeah. If you didn't know, I do have an Instagram and a Facebook. Please follow my social media. If you're liking my video so far, you should totally subscribe because I do a lot of speed drawings, and I'm going to try and do voiceovers over my speed drawings just because that's what I like to listen to, even though just adding music makes it so much easier. But I like to listen to somebody talk while I watch a speed draw, especially while I'm working. I gave her a little pink beret shell, which I thought was really cute because it matched her little hair and it wasn't clashing because it wasn't red. And then I gave her stereotypical green tail because I'm going to color it in a bunch of colors anyway. Lots of coloring. Cleaning up. Gave her a little blue bra because I thought it was really cute. Just the whole color combination all over. I'm sorry if the canvas jumps a lot. I updated my OS maybe, and my Photoshop doesn't really like that I updated it. So instead of using the brush tool to move, when you click down, it actually moves the canvas instead of the brush. So you have to hold it down a little longer. And sometimes I don't hold it down enough. I'm actually inking in pink because I've been watching Lavender Town, and I really like her stuff. She just did a creepy Drosta, which is a creepypasta drawing, and she reads it, and her voice is so perfect for creepypasta, and I can't find anybody else that does it like she does. If you do know somebody else that reads creepypasta like she does, comment them. I want to watch them. She does such a good job. Lavender Town, if you actually see my video for some strange reason and see this, please draw up more creepy Drostas because I love them. I also really liked how she inked all of her shadows in pink. I think it made it a lot softer instead of doing it with like a brown or a black, making it really harsh. I also like to have a lot of layers. Occasionally I will name the layers. I know, right? But I put all of the outlines on a different layer just so I could change the colors. So I'm actually making all of the layers, or all of the outlines, corresponsive colors. I do end up doing like a darker purple on the seashell hat because I didn't notice that it was messing with the orange. And later on that does bother me. I did keep her eyes and her mouth black just so they would pop. What I'm doing here is putting an extra layer on top of the back arm and changing it to the color of the tail so that it looks like the tail is sheer. And I actually did want a see-through tail just because I like the way it looks. And I think it adds just a little extra dimension to the design because she could have a solid tail, but why not make it clear and being able to see the arm behind it. Also, I didn't want to lose her back arm just because it is so perfectly hidden behind her tail that you would just see her little fingers and be like, fingers? What? Oh man, the scales. Does anybody else know how to draw scales, like, without, drawing scales? I don't like to copy and paste them because I think that looks fake. So I need to come up with a better way to draw scales, especially for Mermay, because there's a lot of mermaids. 26 to be exact. I'm doing one for every letter of the alphabet, and I'm actually going to try and turn it into a little children's book. So I'm really excited about that. If you do decide to join me in the prompt, you don't have to do all 26 days. Just, have fun. This is supposed to be a fun thing. So if you do decide, just use hashtag nerd mermaids or mermaids from A to Z. And I'm actually the first one to have those hashtags. So woot woot. Use those hashtags so I can see, and you might get, put into my little book, which would be really cool. I'm really excited anyway. I'm also going to do a mermaid party at the end of the month. Probably the last weekend in the month. And I'm going to pick 6 of my favorite mermaids, because the 26th will be the last day for all my mermaids unless I take a break, but I don't plan on taking a break. I actually want to get ahead of the game, but who knows. Oh, this is when my scales start to get all slanty. Let me know in the comments if you have a good way to draw scales without them getting all weird. I do like how they turned out, but I wish they wouldn't get all weird and morphed. I do find myself having to play like catch up. You know how in a race, like in a giant circle, the inside is like a lot faster than the outside. So I'm having to play catch up on the outside of the scales, and that was annoying to me. But what can you do? Scales are scales, and they have to be, unless I want to do like just random scales to do the illusion of scales. But for these designs, since they're so cute and simple, I wanted to put that little bit of extra detail in there. Yeah. I also have a website called nursery.com. You can look at all of my party posts, and you can see my Instagram on there, and you can also friend me on Facebook. I do have a little shop that currently has Alice in Wonderland and Legend of Zelda stuff in it for parties and nurseries or room decor. And soon to be Doctor Who, because I just did a Doctor Who party. And later on, mermaids. I think I'm going to do just a bunch of mini prints. And then, and for the party, I'm going to do the main 6, and then you could do additions. So like if you wanted to have a dark mermaid party with like the evil mermaid and the bones mermaid and the deep sea mermaid, you could. I think that would actually be really cool to have like a goth mermaid party. Hashtag goth mermaid party. Let me know in the comments if you're a goth mermaid, because that would be really cool. I don't know any goth mermaids. All I know are like rainbow mermaids, and those are just by the handful. Like there has to be some goth mermaids out there. Oh man, I'm coming up on the end of the scales. I'm so excited. Oh, look at all that mess. Ugh. Luckily, it gets covered up in quote-unquote paint. So, now that I have her somewhat completed, I did give her Freckles because I thought Freckles were cool. I tried to start off with a paint, and it looked a lot like blood to start out with. So I smoothed it out, and it looked a little better. I didn't want to connect it, and I was trying out different filters to see which looked the most like paint. So you'll see me play with that. I tried an overlay, and it worked really well on everything but her skin. It sort of looked really weird on her skin. So I don't know if I actually like left it, so I put some extras in there to make it stand out a little more. It's weird that I started out with red. It looks like she's committed a murder and is really happy about it. And we went in with blue, and I like the blue paint. I thought that looked nice. Trying to find a nice filter to make it work. I like the idea of an artist mermaid. I think that would be really cool. Like, would she use watercolors? Like, do acrylics work underwater? Or maybe oil? I didn't want her to be, like, super energetic, and so they were all over her face, and she was really into making her tail a masterpiece. Like, super cute. Next is yellow. Like, this is taking me a few hours. I was only able to condense it to like 20 minutes, even at 400 speed. So, yeah. I wish I drew this fast. 20-minute mermaids. Yeah. I'm going to try and get a head start on tomorrow's. I actually sketched the first weeks out, even though, like, evil was kind of hard for me because it's such a cute style. I still want her to be cute, but I also want her to be evil. And I actually did a Google search for evil mermaid, and I got a lot of skulls, so I'm like, oh, maybe I should include a skull. That would be a good idea. And I might have her just, like, sitting on a pile of skulls, holding a skull, like, come here, sweet child. Children's book. But, went in with purple, tried to get her to really all over the hand. Get in there with the details. I wish I had, like, a story. I might try do story times, because I really like to listen to them on YouTube, and I follow a lot of, like, animators, even though I don't want to animate. But I do want, if there's any artists, like animators out there who want to help me animate an intro, let me know in the comments, because I really want an animated intro, but I don't have time to animate my own intro. Like, it would take me, like, probably an entire year just to animate an intro with the timing I have. Because I'm a little lonely nerd mom, and I need more nerd mom friends. Please, let's be friends. And, her hands started to get lost, so I actually went through with a lighter color and outlined them a little more. And the tail, too, because I wanted the paint to be on top of the outlines, just because I didn't want the outlines to be so stark. See, she's an artsy she's an artsy penguin, everybody. Artsy penguin, artsy mermaid. I started to add highlights, all little cutesy highlights. I think this is when I realized that I couldn't really see the starfish, and I changed it to an overlay for the highlights, which was really cute. I used to do shadows by just using the multiply tool, but I really have been liking using the pink multiply. Not the multiply, but the burn tool. I used to use the burn tool a lot. I still do. I think it adds, like, a lot of dimension. I don't know if y'all actually get to see me use it on her tail, but I think it really helped, like, emphasize the green part, because there's so much color going on. I was adding shadows to her hands and the rest of her tail. It's looking pretty cute. Yeah, playing with the lines some more to make sure they stand out, because they had gotten really lost. I think I add another layer on top. Oh, and I like to group everything. I don't normally do a white outline, but I like to have it stand out. And it's also a great way to clean up your edges. In my real job, I'm a graphic designer for a t-shirt company, so I like to stroke everything, normally with, like, a red or a white. That way you can see if there's, like, a random little dot off in the corner that's really throwing your composition all off. And it helps you find those things. I think when I started to add the blue, I noticed that the hands started to disappear. So I went in and did some more outlining of her hand to make it stand out a little more, because it was getting really lost. Yeah. I'm sitting in my car recording this, like, on my lunch break. So, trying to be discreet. Like, I'm not a weirdo sitting in my car, you know, watching a video on my phone. Let's see. I did keep it at a square template because I like how cute a square book is, and also for Instagram and social media, it looked like a nicer composition. I did like the blue, so I went in with a lot of it in a lot of different places. This looks pretty nice for freehanding. It looked like a butt. Here's some silence for you because I like to watch myself draw, adding some details to the hair, and I made sure to put it under the paint. And I wonder when I'm going to realize that you can't really see the starfish. Oh, this is where it's like, oh, what a perfect square. Let me make it blue and shrink it a little bit. And now I have a background. Yay! Yeah, I like the blue with that. I don't know if I'm going to keep blue for all of them. I think I am going to change the color based on the... Oh, hey, ladybug. I thought you died. Here I am finding a font to go in the background. But I think that'll be it. If you like the video, please subscribe, comment, like. Let me know you're out there because I want to hear from you. I want to make some friends on YouTube and Instagram, and I want to be buddies. Visit my social media. If you have the time and would like to join me in my little Mermay art challenge, do it. Do it. All right. This is where I'm going to end the video. Bye, everyone. And remember to save your work.